I've only just heard that the WBC would like Showtime Sean Porter to fight another title eliminator. And they want me to fight none other than a cherry picker himself, Danny Garcia. What I say to you, Danny Garcia, let's get it on. Ooh, yeah.
To all my hardcore Tyson Fury fans, I'm going to let you guys know why Tyson Fury is going to lose when he comes back. If he's serious now, I'm going to tell you why he's going to lose. Let's take you back to 1967. In 1967, a young heavyweight by the name of Muhammad Ali was the heavyweight champion of the world, right? He was the best heavyweight in the planet. If it was today, he would be ranked as the #1 heavyweight. You know, he had basically beaten all the top guys who were the top guys at the time. Well, what happens? He refuses to go to get drafted into the Vietnam War, and he gets his belt stripped from him, and he gets banned from boxing. Right? 1967. So Muhammad Ali doesn't fight for 3 years. 3 years. So he goes into exile. And during those 3 years, he goes around protesting in colleges all over the United States, all over America, saying stuff like, who's the heavyweight champion of the world? You know, basically reminding the public, the boxing fans, that he was still the heavyweight champion of the world. Kind of like what Tyson Fury's doing right now. You notice how Tyson Fury, every time he's on social media or he's like leaving comments or talking in interviews, you know how he always reminds the boxing fans, who's the heavyweight champion of the world? Who defeated Vladimir Klitschko? He does that because he wants to remind them that, yeah, you got guys like Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker as the champions, but I was the original one who beat Vladimir Klitschko. Well, this is the exact same thing that Muhammad Ali was doing back in 1967 through 1970, because during this time where he was banned from boxing and where he was not allowed to box, boxing kept going. And a young heavyweight by the name of Joe Frazier was fighting. He was an unbeaten American contender. He eventually beats I don't know if it was for the vacant championship or he was the champion, but he basically wins the heavyweight crown, right? And he becomes the heavyweight champion of the world, right? And a lot of Muhammad Ali fans were saying he's not the real heavyweight champion of the world. Joe Frazier is not the real heavyweight champion of the world. How could he be the real heavyweight champion of the world? Muhammad Ali is the heavyweight champion of the world. Muhammad Ali beat Sonny Liston. Joe Frazier didn't beat Sonny Liston. So a lot of people were saying Joe Frazier's not the real heavyweight. They weren't giving Joe Frazier the credit. He's a fake heavyweight. He's a fraud. He ain't shit. He's fake. You want to know what happened? When Ali gets his license back and he starts, clowning Joe Frazier, saying, man, I would school Joe Frazier. Now, if you look at these guys stylistically, Muhammad Ali should have been able to beat someone like Joe Frazier, because Joe Frazier was a come forward pressure guy who put a lot of pressure in his opponents, and he was a come forward hunter. He would break his opponents down. Muhammad Ali was the boxer. So stylistically, you would think to yourself, okay, Muhammad Ali should just easily outbox this Joe Frazier guy, right? Because Joe Frazier is just going to be coming forward, marching forward aggressively, and Ali, being the boxer, is going to just be able to outbox him. Ali thought this. Ali was going around saying, this is going to be easy. I'm just going to school him. I'm going to outbox him. But the thing that Ali didn't realize was during these 3 years, he had gained weight. During these 3 years, he wasn't active. He wasn't putting in the work. His body, his reflexes, his accuracy, they weren't the same because of this time. And during these 4 years, a guy like Joe Frazier, he was putting in the work. He was actively an active fighter. You know what I'm saying? So when they fought, it was a case where Ali had the ability to beat someone like Joe Frazier, but Joe Frazier was so active and he was so hungry and determined that Ali, all the skill that he had wasn't enough to keep the active Joe Frazier off him. And if you look at that fight, Joe Frazier really beat up Ali. He went to his body. You know, there was several times in that fight where he had Ali buckling. Like, if you look at that fight, you know, a lot of people always look at the famous knockdown when he knocked down Muhammad Ali and Ali gets up. But even before that, he was hitting Ali with left hooks. Ali was doing dances and stuff. And Ali basically, I believe he even broke Ali's jaw. Like, he basically beat up Muhammad Ali. So all this skill set that Ali had, he should have been able to beat. Because even to this day, you always see some people saying, oh, if Muhammad Ali would have fought Joe Frazier in 1967 instead of 1971, he would have beaten him. It's only because he had that layoff, right? They say this, a lot of Muhammad Ali fans, right? Fanboys, right? But the thing is, the reason Ali lost was because not only because he was there with another great fighter like Joe Frazier, it was also because Muhammad Ali, it's true, you know, he wasn't active. And Joe Frazier, even though Ali should have been able, even though Muhammad Ali skill for skill should have been able to beat Joe Frazier was more active. He was more active. And that's why he lost. What's his name? God, Muhammad Ali, no, Mike Tyson's legendary coach, Cus D'Amato. There's an interview. I think the interview, it's on YouTube, was conducted in 1970, about 6 months before Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier. And in the video, Ali is with Cus D'Amato's in the gym watching Muhammad Ali boxing. And they asked him, what do you think Ali's chances is of beating Joe Frazier? And, you know, what's his name? Cus D'Amato was a legendary trainer. And Cus D'Amato says, I think he's going to lose to Joe Frazier. And they asked him, why do you think that? He's the greatest, right? Because he was unbeaten at the time, just like Tyson Fury, right? And Cus D'Amato famously said, because look at him. He's been inactive for 3 years. He's gained weight. His timing is off. He was watching him sparring some guy, and he was like, his timing is off. And you know what? Cus D'Amato knew what he was talking about, because 6 months later, it came true. Ali ended up getting beat up against Joe Frazier. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I tell people, right now, someone like Tyson Fury is in the exact position Muhammad Ali was back then. Tyson Fury, a lot of fans are acting like he's still the great champion. Tyson Fury, just like Ali, obviously he wasn't like, you know, stripped because he didn't go into no war or anything. But just like Ali, he's been in exile. He hasn't fought in 2 years. But the difference between him and Ali is he's been doing a lot of drugs, and Tyson Fury has been doing a lot of drugs, and he's gained so much horrible weight. And you know what? You want to know what's been happening in the last 2-3 years that Tyson Fury hasn't been fighting? Guys like Anthony Joshua. Guys like Anthony Joshua have been going out there training, putting in the work in the gym, constantly learning as a fighter. Guys like Deontay Wilder. He's been putting in the work in the gym. Say what you want about these guys' skill sets. Say that, oh, he did a better job than Anthony Joshua against Vladimir Klitschko. Yeah, you guys, you're right. You guys are totally right. But during this time, they've been learning their craft. They've been learning. They've been getting better. They've been active. That's the key word, guys. Active. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury hasn't. Him losing this weight is going to affect him. Him abusing in drugs is going to affect him. And he's going to find himself in the exact same position that Muhammad Ali found himself back in 1971. He's going to be in there with a guy that maybe he does have the skills to beat. But because he was inactive, he ended up losing to the guy. And I guarantee you, when that happens, and when Tyson Fury, if he ever comes back, if he actually does, when he loses, I guarantee you're going to see a bunch of Fury fans, the same Fury fans who were saying he'll school everybody, then go around saying, oh, he only lost because he was inactive. If this was the 2015 version of Tyson Fury would have won, you know, just to discredit the guy who beat him. But yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. Never look at a guy's boxing skills and think to yourselves, he's unbeatable. No one's unbeatable. Tyson Fury, even when he was active, even when he was constantly putting in the work, even when he was active, guys, he was getting dropped. He got dropped several times. And this was when he was active. So imagine now when he's inactive and he hasn't been training and his timing is off. he's still gonna have that not best, and when he's getting drunk in the pub and stuff, he's still gonna have that chin. It's not like the chin disappeared. Tyson Fury has always had a suspect chin. You know what I'm saying? He's never had like the best punch resistance. This is the guy who's been dropped by several guys who aren't the biggest punchers at heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? He's been dropped several times. So yeah, guys, that's all I have to say. It's just a video.